Hello everyone. Right, I need to adjust my levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Hello everyone. Hope you're well. Oh, my hair's a mess. Why do I always look a mess? How are you all? Are you well? Let me just monitor the screen. Okay. What do we have here? We have what are we looking at? We've got Nina, and we've got PhD 2, and we're currently imaging the Pacman Nebula, which is there. You can't see it. There's a tiny bit of red just there. So I was just thinking to myself, maybe I should stack this and do a live stack. But I can't remember how to do it in shot. No, I can remember. I just have to muddle my way through a bit. Anyway, I hope you're all well. This was not planned. I figured I would just rig a telescope as it's clear, and apparently it's going to be clear all night. So it's not actually astronomically dark yet. So if I go into framing, not framing, flats, no, framing, yeah, framing. So in framing, you can see we are still in twilight. Or astronomical twilight, and we'll be going into astronomical darkness just before 10 o'clock UK time, and it is currently 9:16 UK time. So yes, that's where we are. So what's outside? We've got a 130 PDS, and that is 650mm focal length, and it is riding on my EQ5 Pro, which is guiding okay. It's okay. Obviously this, if I make this bigger, there you go. So forget the dithering. Dithering doesn't matter because it's deliberately doing stuff with dithering, but it's actually guiding quite well, which is good. So if we go into Nina and go into imaging, this is what's going on. And on this screen, what you can see here is the focus curve, which is there. You can see guiding at the bottom. This is the image here. Oh, the camera is a 26C from Altair, APS-C size sensor, so it's quite big. But it looks pretty good, and yeah. Oh, hello, people have said stuff. Cloudy here in Manchester. Green Cat, hello. Live stack in SharpCap, camera, menu, folder, monitor, yeah, I'll go and do that. I will go and do that, thank you. I'll have to just minimize stuff though. SharpCap. Let's have a look in SharpCap. So, live stack in SharpCap, camera, monitor, menu, cameras, and then you go folder, monitor, camera, and then you have to tell it the folder, if I recall. Source folder. Nina, and today's date is the 4th. That one there, and then that one, and it's this folder. Excellent. There we go. So it's now live stacking, and at some point I'll have to do a histogram stretch thing. Gosh, it's been a very long time since I last did this. I think I need to, I may need to done one frame. Share the histogram. Go on then. You guys probably know this far better than I do. Oh yes, press play. That helps, doesn't it? 2, 3. Ah, look at that. Thank you very much. Somebody's glad somebody knows what they're doing, because I have not got a clue. Right, so it is now stacking 13, 14, 15, 14, sorry, 15. Oh, there you go, 15. Right, now I have to stretch it. Is there a stretch? Auto stretch, look at that. Oh, it's green. Nice. So I need to balance it, color balance. Which one of these is color balance? Invert. Auto stretch. Reset. Oh, where's color balance? One of these is color balance, I know it is. Invert. Stretch. So I want the stretch to be on. And I want to color balance. Auto stretch, that would work, wouldn't it? I seem to remember there was some faders where you can change the green content. Live stack, is it something to do with live stack? Stark lives, no. It's nothing like being prepared, is there? Where is it? There's no point showing you something green. Closed histogram, okay. I mean, it's nice, but it's green. Processing. So, close histogram. Press live stack at top menu. Genius. How exciting, everyone. This is very good. I can't see anything now, so I need to do a stretch. Do auto stretch. Auto color balance. Now start playback, of course you do. How do I start playback again when it already says it's got it there? So it's greyed out. Do I have to go back to the beginning? So if I go there and start playback again. No, that can't be right. Yeah, I use the rewind button. Yeah, I've done that. That's cool. But it doesn't seem to be affecting the image when I do a auto color balance from histogram peaks. Do I just move this? Yeah, it's now stacking, but it's not showing me a stretched. Aha! Oh, it's just a really slow processing time on my PC. This is a VNC session to a tiny PC in the garden, so that's probably why. Be really good if I could zoom in on the histogram as well. That's not so good. Yes, I've often found this when I'm doing this with imaging that I don't seem to have very much success with the live stacking. There is a zoom button on the histogram. So there's zoom there, yeah, there is tab on. Try not to crush the blacks. Well, there you go. Not hugely enamoured, to be honest, myself, but I'm sure there's a lot more that I could do to make it better. It appears to be escaping me at the moment. It looks horribly like I have a rainbow. Okay, I will be back in just a second. I just have a very important job to do, which involves saying hello to my wife who's just got in from work. So bear with me 1 second and I will return. I'm back briefly. I'm just making a cup of tea for my wife and then I'll be back with you. Should be very exciting, won't it? You can make out a Pac-Man, can you? Okay. Well, I'm delighted. Excellent. Let's have a look back in SharpCap, shall we? Yeah. Okay. I'm delighted. I hope there is. I can certainly see the red there. Yeah, definitely. I'm being deliberately silly. So, yeah. Excellent. That's good. I'm very pleased. Right. I'm just going to go and make this cup of tea for my wife, and I will return in about 2 minutes. So I'll just turn off stuff again. So I need to turn off the video capture device, that one there, and then my audio. Bye. I'm back. Here we go. Right. Oh, look, we've got a warning. There's a warning there. It says something's gone wrong. So something's gone wrong. Let's have a look. Right. Oh, dithering was skipped because we lost the guide star. I was a bit worried about having a guide star down there. You know what I might do? I might not do that because that's annoying. I might stop, reselect a different guide star. That'll do, and then restart. There we go. So we've got a different guide star. Hopefully that will be better. Right. So, how are you all? Are you all well? I hope you are. What's been happening? Anything exciting? There is clearly a significant delay between me talking and seeing and you guys replying or chatting. But feel free to chat and say things, and I will perhaps respond, as long as it's not too rude, maybe. Who knows? Right. Everything seems to be progressing okay. So we should be in astronomical darkness very soon. If I go into framing, yeah, so astronomical darkness is just before, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12, so it'll be just before 10. So, yeah, it should hopefully start to look. I mean, there is, you can see some nebulosity there. Let's see if I can, I'll make this slightly darker. The response time on my PC outside, because it's a little tiny PC, is going to take a lot longer. So whenever I make an adjustment here. Any filters? Well, that's a great question. Yes and no is the answer. So I am using an Altair 26C, which has a UV IR cut window. I also use, I have a UV IR cut filter in the drawer, just because it's in the drawer. I don't really use filters. I know that sounds a bit weird. My mono setup, obviously I use filters. So I use a UV IR cut filter, no other filters at all. And the reason is because I find that they cause rings in my images due to the amount of light pollution. So it's actually causes more issues through reflections from light pollution in my local vicinity, because I have a lot of street lamps. Does it cause me problems? Yes. Am I bothered by it? I can't do anything about it. There's literally nothing I can do about it. And if I add a filter, it introduces additional artifacts. So I do not use light pollution filters at the moment. I will be digging out a refractor soon, which I have not used in a long while, where I will be using filters as a test. And I do have some filters which I could use, but to be honest, I'm happy not using them if I can get away with it. Oh, this is quite interesting. You can see stuff in the middle. I'm just playing. So there's you can definitely see some nebulosity there. You can see some there. And is that a Pacman-y bit? Potentially. Let's go back into Nina. Actually, something I did want to do was look at the guider. Yes, so the answer to your question is no, I'm not really using any filters. I'm using a UV-IR cut to just tighten up the stars a little bit, and that is it. So the camera, let's go through the equipment tab. So the camera we have here, it is cooled to -5, 26C camera, which is an IMX 571 APS-C size sensor. The focuser is a Pegasus Astro Focus Cube, and it just works, which is great. The mount is an EQ5 Pro, which is being controlled via EQ Mod, which is there. I was thinking about trying Green Swamp Server at some point this season, but because I've lost a lot of time with breaking my hand, my wrist, I just want to enjoy imaging. So this is a simple setup that's really light, and I can just use it, so that's cool. Obviously guiding is PhD 2, but the guide scope is just an SV Bony guide scope. Let's have a look at the picture on that. So it's an SV Bony mini guide scope, and the stars are not round by a long shot. They have wisps going to one side or the other. It doesn't make that much difference. It is just a guide scope. It is absolutely fine. It does have a ZWO, I'm going to say 120mm guide camera. I'm pretty sure that's it, which just does the job. It's just a mono guide camera, just images all night long, doesn't complain. It's great, like stuff that just works. And that's it. I've been through every tab, so not doing anything spectacular, to be honest. Oh, did I set up a meridian flip? Let's look in the sequencer. Yes, meridian flip is on, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set up my time lapse. So I want to do my time lapse, so I need a battery for that. 1 second. So I am going to put a battery with my camera. So I have a little action camera which is doing long exposures, and then doing a star lapse. I've only lost half an hour, that's fine, but I think it looks really cool, and then when I do a video you guys can see the telescope tracking with the stars. But in order to do that I have to put a large capacity battery outside, because the action camera obviously consumes quite a lot of electricity. So I'm going to put my guiding up, and you will probably see the guiding go slightly haywire as I am outside. So I suspect the declination will go nuts, as it always does with this mount. So I'll be back in a couple of moments. Let me just turn the audio and I'll turn the audio and video off, because my family obviously don't want to be in this. So I will just turn the display capture, that one, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, I am back. Hello. Let me just see who's here. Is anyone here? Oh, we've got 4 people still. Cool. Great. Right. So I've just put my time lapse outside, so that's going now. And so we're, for those who have just joined, the whole colossus of 4 concurrent viewers, welcome. We have outside a 130 PDS with a 26C camera, with a guide scope, and that's got a 120mm guide scope, and it's riding on my EQ5 Pro, which is guiding, as you can see. It's guiding reasonably well, and I am taking, so this is the bit that I haven't shown yet, so I am currently taking 5 hours, no, 7 hours. 7 hours. I'm going to do 7 hours. I've already been going for about 40 odd minutes. I take 1 minute exposures. If you go on astronomy, I think it's Astronomy Tools, and you do the maths for your scope, it tells you what the resolution of your equipment can be. And because in the UK our seeing is pretty terrible, I will not be able to get a resolution above 1 to 2 arc seconds. I just won't, not with a 130 PDS. And also because my mount is not the best in the world, so I keep my exposure time relatively short, so 1 minute. I then have loads of subs, so I'm still taking the same amount of exposure, but just over a longer period of time. So I'm doing 60-second subs. I'm going to do just shy of 500 of them tonight, and I'm dithering every 3. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So there we go. That's what I'm going to do. And you know what? I should have recorded saying that. Then I could put that in my video. Shall I start recording? If you guys would like to ask any questions, please do so. I will endeavour to try not to make myself look like a complete fool, which is infinitely possible, and answer them probably incorrectly. So yes, please do feel free to ask questions for me to answer incorrectly. So let's go into OBS, and I'm going to start recording. There we go, we are recording. Hello. So we are now on the verge of astronomical darkness, everybody. Woohoo! Isn't that exciting? Right. Okay, so for those of you who don't use Nina, this is Nina. And Nina is the automation system which I'm using for this evening, and it's the one I use the most because I find it the most reliable. We have various tabs down the side here, and each of those opens up a subset of windows. Ooh, look at that. Would you look at that great big... Oh, you can't see it because my head's in the way. Let me show you if we go into here. Oh my goodness, my head's in the way. I'm going to have to move my head. Something very exciting is happening behind my head. No, don't want to move that. I want to move will you stop moving that? That's the one. Right, I'm going to put me there. Would you look at that guiding? Something's gone wrong, hasn't it? Well, that's interesting. Look at that. Welcome to my world. It's my world of pain. It's not really pain. It's just the equipment lottery of buying something that's not very good, and then when it dithers, it goes crazy. That's not very good, is it? I mean, it's returning. Potentially returning. May I ask you all a question? Do you have these dithering woes as well? Does your mount just decide it wants to be ridiculous? I mean, look at that. What is going on there? Seriously though, do you have these problems? I'd love to know if it's just me. So why would it be that I can have a weird dither there, then a normal dither, and a normal dither? I know it's lost a start. Don't worry, I'm not worried. I will stop it, loop, reselect new start, and then start guiding again. It's just cloud. You can see the cloud going through the camera. That's all it is. So do you have weird dithering as well? So that one is weird. This one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. This one decided it wanted to go to the moon. But we're not. We're on the Pacman Nebula tonight. Yes, so why would that happen? It's very interesting, isn't it? Any ideas, anyone? Thought not. Not to worry. Okay. Is your maximum dithering step in pixels too high? You know, my dithering pixels there, let me move my head again so you can see, is set to 2 pixels. I will move my head, don't worry, you will see it, you will see the evidence. OBS is on this screen. There you go, 2 pixels. 2 pixels. So let's go into PhD because that works in pixels. So this shows in pixels. That's more than 2 pixels. Look, my scale is on 8. So it went more than that. It went, no, I'm going to go up and then I'm going to go down. Look at that. Who've got, oh, Cheap Astro. Hello. Hello, Cheap Astro. Yes, so, oh, would you look at my dithering? It's just hopeless. Anyway, the world is a happy place. So, yes, this is the equipment tab. So camera at the top, which is at -5. It's going very well. Happy with that. Focuser is focusing. Oh, my cat's coming. Hello, cat. We may have a starring role from my cat in a moment. And the mount is less said about that, really. That's the EQ5 Pro, which my last video was about that. Yes, interesting. Very interesting comments about that. And clearly, my criteria for that was just to have it working and be reasonable. I was not after anything outstanding, and we can still see quite clearly my mount is definitely not outstanding. So if we go into mount, so we're in mount, beg pardon, guider I meant to say, and there we go, we're back in the Joy, which is my mount. So yes, that's it. Look at, would you look at that? Not doing very well. Anyway, let's have a look at what we're actually imaging. So we have various tabs down here. Sky Atlas allows you to see what's in the sky tonight and suggests good targets for you. But tonight I am going to be on the Pacman Nebula, which is center of frame there, and I use the framing wizard to basically go to it. Flats wizard I will use when I take the flats. Sequencer, so I am taking 480 1-minute subs, and I'm dithering every 3 of those. I am refocusing every hour, and on every HFR increase, half flux radius increase. And I think that's everything. So essentially, when it does that, when it finishes this session, it will park the mount and warm the camera, and it will automatically do a meridian flip. So if we now go down to imaging, I ought to move my head back because it's annoying me being where it is. But before I do, this little box here shows you what's going on with your sort of an overview of your sequence. And I find this incredibly useful because it tells you when your meridian flip is going to be. So we can see here that my meridian flip will be at 2:58, so just before 3 in the morning. And I will pretend to myself that I will be asleep at that time, but I almost certainly will pop down about 3 just to check that it's done a flip. I sleep badly anyway. Yeah. So let's move my head back to an appropriate place. So from here, I'm going to, let's go somewhere up there. That looks like a nice place, doesn't it? Okay. Right. And we also have Sharpcap, which is doing a live stack, which looks awful. Oh my goodness, that looks so terrible. So let's brighten it up a tiny bit. You can kind of see a bit of the Pacman Nebula in the middle. I've never been able... Other people seem to be able to make this look amazing. I can't. I'm sure it's either because I've not taken any calibration frames and loaded them, or generally I'm incompetent, which is very likely. But I can't make this thing work very well, even with all the auto stuff. Anyway, not to worry. It is what it is. So essentially that's the live stack. Let me... Oh, I'm quiet. Right. Okay. That's good to know. Thank you, Cheap Astro. I will turn me up. So when I'm just so you're aware, so I have my mic here, and it goes into a USB sound card, which is just behind my monitor, and I can only use the meters that I have on the screen. So I'll turn the gain up a bit. I just don't want to distort, you see, because if I distort, I can't use... Yeah, see, now I'm clipping. Hopefully that's a bit better. It's saying I'm at -10. I don't want to go too loud, because I can bring it up in the edit. I can bring it up in the edit, which is what I do. And as... so there's a lot of personal pride around the audio, because I have made my career from audio. So I would like to think that I have a sort of level of competence with regards to audio professionally. So yes, that's why I on the whole would like to think that it's not going to be distorting. But please do give me feedback. If I'm really quiet, then please do tell me. I will try and improve it. I don't wish you guys to be deafened by adverts. Reset that little sounds better. We'll see how loud. Yeah. So essentially, I prefer audio quality to audio loudness, and be under no illusions that adverts are put through some quite serious processes when they're post-produced to make them louder, and they are deliberate. There's a thing called loudness. It's loudness units full scale, or LUFS. So if you look up LUFS, there's a whole world of information about the LUF, and loudest units full scale were developed to enable the difference between program material and adverts to be balanced out. And it's not just program material and adverts, it's because let's say you've got a piece of classical music and then you've got an advert. Classical music is very dynamic, so you could be listening to a film score and then you have an advert, and people were getting blasted. So the whole point of the LUF was to even that out, so that everything over a period of time averaged to a consistent level. I hope that was useful, but you know, so essentially, it does. If I'm quiet at one point, I apologise. But the worst, the in terms of audio, the biggest sins are a popping microphone. That's really unprofessional, and distortion. I don't want either of those. So yes, that's my little audio. Do hope I don't distort. Sometimes I get it wrong because I'm a one-man person. You know, it's only me, and I can't monitor and do everything at the same time. Right, let's go back in and actually do some astronomy as opposed to professional audio. So, yes, guiding appears to have settled, which is good. Somebody asked me a question. Reset the little histogram. Okay, Green Cat, I will do my best. Let's go into Sharmcow. Reset the little histogram. Reset. Is that one there? Auto color balance. Color balance from star colors. Reset color balance. Reset. Okay. So I've reset. Shall I just do an auto color balance? Auto stretch. Whoa. Okay, that didn't work. Let's turn that one off. Okay. Auto color balance from histogram peaks. On the right. Okay. Display histogram. So that one there. Take that one off. And then do this one here. What's that one? Come on. It's not doing anything now. Little histogram on the right. So I'm on the little histogram on the right. So I've done that and reset the little histogram. Okay. Right, so I've done that. And then shall I just do an auto color balance or auto stretch? Which would you guide me? Guide me with where you would like me to go. This doesn't seem to be even. It's just gone weird. Okay. Let's put that back down there. Then use the sliders on big histogram. Okay. But I'd need to auto stretch it though. Nina's got live stacking. Okay, is that a what are they called? Is that a plugin? Move middle. It's a plugin, yeah. Okay. I'm not going to install any plugins at the moment, but I will certainly investigate that. Let's have a. So, move middle line up. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we're doing a. Sorry, you mean to the left, don't you? Why is that? Right, that's not wanted. say bless you. Okay, I'll say bless you. Bless you. Bless me. Yeah, bless you. Thanks. My wife says thank you. Yeah, sorry, that was my wife sneezing. I'm mostly not getting very much out of this, and I know it's my incompetence. Please don't shout at me. Other people seem to be able to make this work. I do actually think, though, other people's data is a lot better than my data. So I do hold my hands up and say it might just be that my data is not very good. And I have learned in the last sort of 12 months that that's just partly down to how rubbish my skies are. They are really quite poor. Okay. Wow, there's a whole 9. Oh, we've got 10 concurrent viewers now. We're on double figures. Woohoo! It's always good, isn't it? Nice. So, feel free to comment or generally tell me off or something else. I don't mind. It's all good. Right, so we're on the Pacman Nebula, which should look something like that. Which is very exciting. And hopefully it will look something like that. So I'm using the 130 PDS 26C camera. Oh, we've got an autofocus. Something's happening, everyone. Look at this. It's exciting. Don't say I don't bring you exciting things. Any second now, a black dot is going to appear. Ready, steady. Black dot. Autofocus. Yay! We have a black dot. Woohoo! Yes. So we have a black dot. Hopefully that black dot will go further down. Let's go and have a look in imaging, actually, see what's going on. There we go. Black dot's going down. Will we get the curve, the hyperbolic curve that we all want? Let's see. Let's see where this goes. It's very, very exciting. Oh, look, we've got 3 black dots now. This is very good. Hopefully 4 black dots. Look at that. So I don't think this was I set in the sequencer to do this every 60 minutes, and lo and behold, we are at 56. Maybe the HFR increased a bit. It's quite possible. We're at 12 people watching. Woohoo! It's really exciting, isn't it? So we're just doing an autofocus routine, which is there. It's autofocusing, which is nice. And then it'll start doing imaging again, which is also nice. Hopefully tonight I should be getting about 5 hours of data, and I know it's going to get cloudy though in the morning, because the weather says so, and the weather's always correct, as we all know. Gosh, is it really 10 past 10? I've got to be up early in the morning. Guiding seems to have settled, which is good. Happy with that at the moment. Oh, Cheap Astro, you're very nice. Please like the stream. It helps YouTube push it out to other people's feeds. That is very true. Even if you dislike it, which is an option, and it's very possible, although that would be an unhappy face from me. It does actually, it does tell the algorithm that people are actually interacting with what is going on, and it does feed it to more people, and I'm very grateful to those who do interact. It makes a big difference. So, for example, you guys have been chatting away here. Green Cats, thank you. Cheap Astro as well. Forgive me, I'm not able to read that name, and I'm sorry about that. What mount am I using? What a good question. I am using an EQ5 Pro, and it's temperamental, shall we say. It's the one I sent away in my last video to be serviced, and it came back 5 months later in roughly the same condition, but at least it does work. I suppose that's good. So no, it's fine. It's all right. It's not... An EQ5 Pro is kind of a half attempt at trying to be an HEQ5. So an EQ5 Pro so desperately wants to be an imaging mount, but just can't achieve the same, which is a real shame because it's a reasonably priced mount. And in fairness, in the last 12 months, there have been loads of new mounts, harmonic drive mounts. I'm thinking about the AliExpress mounts that you see. So those are the ones that Quiv the Lazy Geek gets and so on. Sub £1,000 mounts, which will absolutely wipe the floor with an EQ5 Pro. And what you're paying for with an EQ5 Pro is the backup. So if you go and buy an EQ5 Pro from a shop, you will be paying more for the privilege of having a Skywatcher name and also the warranty. Whereas if you buy an AliExpress mount, I'm sure most of them will be really good, but if it goes wrong, you don't have that backup. So yeah, you take your choice and you pay your money. I would very much like to get a lightweight mount because sadly, since I did my hand, I can't lift... I'm sorry, I broke my... for those that don't know, I broke my scaphoid, and I will not be able to lift my EQ5 Pro this year. I can walk it, but that's going to do the mount no good. But I cannot lift that mount. So the EQ5 Pro I can lift. It's the right weight. Really, a smaller mount is something I need to investigate, and it makes no sense now with the market being as it is to buy an HEQ5. So again, they're really heavy, but yeah, it's a tricky place. The mount I would really like is a Pegasus Astro mount, but they are so beautiful. They're really lovely mounts, but the prices, and you know, the mount of dreams, but the price of nightmares. So yeah, it's oh, I've got Andrew Hazen. Hello Andrew. Oddly Astro, the Hem 15 plus pier and tripod, 6 kilograms. Yes. Yeah, I had an Ioptron mount, and I sent it back. I'm afraid I didn't get on with it. So I've realised over time this was a couple of years ago now. So I had the I'm trying to remember the model. It was is it the Gem 45? I think it is. CM45, I think it was, Nook, and it was really fussy. I mean, really fussy, and partly is because of the way it's engineered. It felt like if you sneezed near it, it would fall to bits. But they are well engineered, and I think in hindsight, if I'd stuck with it, I'd have learnt how to get around its different sort of bits that I didn't get on with. And every time I look at Ioptron, they always look really desirable. But then I hear so many reports about them not being quite where people want to go. And in truth, I'm a bit scared of buying an Ioptron because it's probably unfounded, but because my experience, it drove me nuts. It actually drove me nuts. And in the end, I had to get rid of it. It was just, 1 minute it would be beautiful and the guiding would be startlingly good, and then the next minute it would just be, oh, okay, so we're not going to do any imaging at all tonight then. And the other thing was the USB on it was anything above a 1 meter high quality USB lead, it would disconnect. No idea why. And I had two different mounts of the same. So I had the Nook version and then the non-Nook version, and both of them would disconnect with a USB lead above 1 meter. So that tells me that the way they have designed it is not compliant with USB standards, because you should be able to get with standard USB 2, you should be able to get at least 3 meters. Any more than that, yes, it will drop out. But yeah, they're a bit inconsistent. But then that's astrophotography. Yeah, it's the equipment lottery. But yeah, I have looked at the HEM ones. So Odds the Astro says, HEM is a different ball game. I prefer the Ioptron Commander to Skywatch offering. Get outside within 15 minutes, just come back in. Have it. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to be said for it. That of course applies to any lightweight rig as well. If you can rig it quickly and get imaging, I do think potentially a mount is on the horizon, because I can't keep using this. This mount's fine. It's just not as good as it should be. And I should never have bought it really, but at the time when I did 5 years ago, I had no wish to go all the way down the rabbit hole at that point. So Green Cat says, I use an HEQ5 Pro mount on an old Orion Optics UK Pier. Been outside for 12 years, under 2 bin bags, still going strong. There you go. Fantastic. HEQ5 Pro is a very, very, very good mount. And that is the mount I should have bought. I should have bought one of those, because there were no Strainway gear harmonic drive mounts at that point. The two mounts essentially were the EQ6 and the HEQ5, and I saw the words EQ5 Pro, not HEQ5, and I bought this second hand, and it was clearly in a very poor state, and I've suffered ever since. I think I probably lost a couple of years fighting it, just to thinking, it must be me, it must be what I'm doing, and it was actually the fact that the mount just wasn't very good. But now it's a buyer's market. It really is. There's so much good kit now to make your life easy. I hate to say don't buy a Newtonian for a first scope unless you are willing, and also live in an area where there's zero light pollution, or very low light pollution, which is nowhere. But yes, Newtonians need a lot of work. Although, let's go back and look at Newtonians are good they are actually really good. And the stars tonight look good. They're nice and browned. Yeah, I'm in Baltimore 6 but I have... So, I'm in Baltimore 6, I'm in Luton, and I have a street lamp there and a street lamp there, and I get massive rainbow circles from reflections. I have done everything from putting boards up to block the light, so kind of building a mini temporary observatory around, and there is something about where I live. I've blocked everything I can do. I can't use certain filters. I can only use a UV-IR cut. This is with newts, not with refractors. So there is absolutely something about where I live which is introducing the issues that I have, but I've worked around them, and it is what it is. It's just been the learning curve for me. So cheap Astro, I'm Portal 4, so rarely get a clear sky. Need to suck up as much data as I can as little time. Yeah, well, we're in the UK, similar situation. So an 8-inch newt is all the way. Yep, if it works for you, then do what works for you, 100%. Green Cat Portal 7.5 for me. Gosh, I'm guessing you said you were in Manchester, I think. Unless I've got that completely wrong. Yeah, cloudy here in Manchester. Yeah, I went to uni in Salford. It's a characteristic. Excuse me. In fact, I think I've said this joke before. I had a friend from Portugal, and when they came to Manchester, they brought with them, as they were on a placement in Manchester through the university, and they had a phrase book, an English phrase book, which was published in Portugal. So they bought it in Portugal, brought it over, and they showed me a definition of rain and how to use the word rain. And it said in there, like the rain in Manchester. I kid you not, a book published in Portugal refers to Manchester and its imminent need to be rained on, which was quite funny. Where are we? Oddly Asher says, that reminds me, do you mind if I rip off your IMX sensor test into a video? I don't mind at all. No, of course not. Go for it. If you mention me in a video, I have no problem. That's cool. That's cool. As long as you're not going to rip it to say this person is an idiot. I mean, theoretically, many occasions I am a bit of an idiot, but I would appreciate it as long as the video is relatively, sort of sensible. That's cool. Or make your own. Get the IMX. So which bit do you mean? The IMX 294 sensor test. Is that the one where I look at the histogram of a 294C? I think that was it. Yeah, it was the histogram. So basically, right. So on for those that don't know which video we're talking about here, I did a video. Look, so I was using my SV Bony, which is a 294C color sensor, and Robin, who writes SharpCap, I spoke to him online about, and also at the Practical Astronomy show, about the gain ranges. And there is a document from Sony, so Sony themselves, who when they talk about that sensor, they say there is a gain range you will not be able to use because it does not deliver consistent results. And that gain range is from the high gain conversion point, which I think is 121. So when you go over 120, it switches, I believe. Or it is at 120. I can't remember. Either way, it's at the high gain conversion point. And then you go up about 100 or about 200 stops from there. And what you can do is shine a white light so that you're fully saturating the sensor, and then look at the histogram, and just before, literally one digit before the high gain conversion point, you will see a fully saturated histogram. So basically a big spike of white light, and then that's it. So that's what you see. If you go one over, you see a spike, and then you see loads and loads and loads and loads of random spikes. And as you increase the gain range, the spikes move, and they move around. And then as you get a little bit higher on the gain range, they begin to decrease. And then when you get high enough in the gain range, it's about 100 or 200 higher, it goes back to a spike. And that gain range is known by Sony to be inconsistent. It's so inconsistent that I asked Robin how you avoid. He said just basically avoid that range, either go below it or go well above it, so you're out of that range. And it's in Sony's documentation that you have to avoid that as well. For some reason though, some people don't have this problem, and I think, and I don't have no evidence of this and I have no justification for saying this, I think some cameras have been modified in their firmware to avoid that gain range, but not the numbers, so that effectively it changes to avoid that section, so it's removed. And I know that Robin did adjust his software so that with Altair 294 cameras you can't actually select that gain range within that. He said to me, I've basically said you can't select it. So that effectively removes the problematic area. But some people say, no, I use gain 125 and all of my images are fine. Great, if it works for you, that's brilliant. It doesn't for me. So with my 294C camera, I must avoid the problematic gain range because I can select it. And I can't remember the figure. I think it's 120, it might be 121, going up to about, I think it's 200. So I always set my gain above 200 with my 294C camera, and it now calibrates. And obviously people also say long flats as well. I'm not sure if that's true. Robin also said he was not 100% sure if that was true, but any flats, even with a lovely sensor like an IMX571, this APS-C size sensor that you're looking at now, I still do longer flats, so between 3 and sort of 7 seconds, just because I do, and that works for me. And don't shoot the messenger, I take bias, and if I don't take bias, my images don't calibrate. And if you look at Deep Sky Stacker, and if you look at PixInsight, they actually use bias within their flow diagrams, so it is doing something. So it's interesting. Some people again swear, nope, don't take bias. But you can use a dog flat in the bias column. If you take additional ones, it does exactly the same. It's whatever works for you. If it works for you, great. If you've got a workflow that works and you're happy, brilliant. I've found that I've had to use bias to make things work. I've just realised I haven't said goodnight to my kids. Can I be back in 2 minutes? I just need to go and say goodnight to my kids. I'll be back. Hello, I am back. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap soon because I've got to be up before 7, so I need to go to bed. So I just want to give a very quick whistle stop for the last time, because I'm sure there's people who may or may not have seen this. So we'll start at the very beginning. Equipment tab. At the very top here, I've selected equipment. So I've just run up and down the stairs. I'm out of breath. It's not good, is it? Okay, so camera. This is the camera that we're using. It's cooled to -5, and so that's ticking along nicely. It is a Altair 26C, which does not have any light pollution filters. It's just a UV IR cut window. I do have in the filter drawer a UV IR cut filter as well, just because it was in there. Then I have a focuser, which is the Pegasus Astro Focus Cube, which just does its job. The mount is being controlled via EQ mod, I beg your pardon, which is there, and it's the EQ5 Pro, which is okay. It's not amazing, but it's fine. And then guiding is going nuts at the moment because it's just dithering. So PhD2 is doing the guiding. So here you go. Welcome to my wondrous guiding. So you can see here that my guiding is never brilliant. It seems to be okay until it dithers, and then it decides it it just makes things up. So that's what it's doing at the moment, making stuff up, and it does eventually come back though. The reason I'm using my EQ5 Pro is because I can't lift anything because I broke my wrist. So I can't lift my EQ6 at the moment. The subject we're looking at tonight is the Pacman Nebula, and I used the framing wizard and just put the target into the legacy sequencer, which is here. I'm taking 480 exposures tonight. We're already on 77. I don't take more than 1 minute exposures, so 60 seconds, and I'm dithering every 3, and the mount, or rather the software, will allow the mount to do a controlled meridian flip, which will take place around about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then when it's been through the sequence, it will park the mount and it will warm the camera ready for me to come down and cover it up. I'm thinking it's going to be clear tomorrow, so I might do another night on this subject. Imaging wise, so this is what's coming in from the sensor. You can just see some red there from the nebulosity, and that's the focus curve, which is pretty good actually. That's not too bad. And you can see the number of stars is slowly increasing now that it's got dark, and the HFR is slowly decreasing as basically it becomes better seeing and the stars become clearer. That's pretty much everything on there. Oh, we've got an autofocus. Interesting. So I have set in the sequencer to do an autofocus on the start on every 60 minutes, so when time of 60 minutes has lapsed, and also when the HFR increase goes above 10%. I suspect because of my guiding being rubbish with the recovery period from the dithering, I suspect that is why it is doing a larger HFR. And it's a horrible thing when your dithering causes the HFR to increase, which causes it to autofocus, and you get into a horrible cycle. But hopefully this will sort itself out. So that is everything there. We'll just look at our focusing curve. Hopefully it'll be okay. If you have any questions, please do put them in the chat. I'll try and answer them. Or if you're imaging tonight, tell me what you're imaging. I'm really grateful to everyone who has said anything or even contributed this evening. That's cool. It's really nice to have a chat with people. It might be a lot of deck backlash. Yep. The declination on this mount was the cause of a lot of issues when it was serviced. And it's literally just come back from being serviced. So in theory, if it was done properly, the deck should be manageable. In theory. But I haven't actually haven't measured it yet though. I mean, in theory, I shouldn't really be using an EQ5 Pro. They're not really up to what I want them to do now. They're fine, they're just not amazing. Cheap Astro, can't talk, I'm eating. But you are talking, you just spoke. Well, you typed. Does that mean your keyboard's covered in bits of sandwich and things? Cool. I am going to probably leave this running. I'm going to head off to bed, I think. Everything seems to be ticking over, which is good. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I wish you all clear skies, and I hope you all have a good evening. I'll probably leave this running for a few more minutes and then I'll shut down the stream. So thanks for joining, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care, everybody.